basically it's covering your butt.
Yep.
Is what it's doing. And if you don't know that person that had that property for as long as they've had it and make sure that they are current on everything, you're taking a risk.
When I was broke, so in South Carolina and in Georgia, I paid for all of my, so we're in a title state. We use a title company, title officers and stuff like that. In Georgia and South Carolina, it's an attorney state. So you have attorneys that do all of this stuff. And so my closings out there were $600. They run a title search. The attorney drafts up the contract. We're done. $600. I'm like, sure. $600 is no big deal. Fast forward out here to California. I'm like, whoa, $3,200? Okay. $3,200. I'll get back to you. Hey, mobile notary, want to meet me at the house? Okay, yeah. Deed the property over to me. Okay, good. We're done. And they would deed these properties over to me. And I have all these properties that have been deeded over to me that are not insured. I don't have insurable title. Because when you go and you sell a property, what are you selling? You're not selling the property. You're selling clear and clean title. So I have a bunch of properties that are not insurable. So I've sold a few of these, and I've learned this the hard way. Like, oh crap, I got to go back to the original seller. Where's he at? Got to find this guy because he has to sign an affidavit that says, yes, I did sign that over to Ryan. Yes, we didn't go through a title company. Maybe we should have, but it's okay. This is my affidavit that I did make this transfer.
Can you have them sign that affidavit when you sell or when they buy originally?
We're going to get, so again, we're kind of jumping the gun.
Oh, yeah.
I have ways that I now have done to protect myself. But for this class and purposes, I'm going to say that go through title. I just closed the house right now in Sacramento that we actually went through a title company. Who paid the closing costs on the title company, the $3,200? My buyer did. Yes, it's less money in my pocket. So what? But her plan was to live in it, fix it up, and turn around and refinance it in the next 3 years. That was her plan. So I told her, I said, look, these are your options. I can't give you legal advice. This is what I would do in your situation. This is what would happen in this case. This is what happened in this case. Either way, you're going to have to figure out how to do title. Just do title now, get it clear, and transfer it into your name with insurable title. Or in 3 or 4 years when you're ready to sell, see if this lady's still alive and try to find where she's at. And do it that way. And she's like, oh, okay, yeah, we're definitely going to do that. So she paid for it. So yeah, I recommend, I encourage, use a title company when you're buying these properties. All right, guys, subject 2, talked about that. This is a California-only contract. It's called equity purchase. This contract's a bit crazy. So basically, it's kind of the same thing. You have buyer, seller, property address, any personal property in case they're walking away from it. Just like, look, you can have my car, all this stuff, my guitar case, whatever you want, my old collection of nickel coins. You're going to put in what fair market value is for that house, what your consideration is. So basically, so you're going to give them fair market value. You're going to say, yes, all fixed up, this house could be worth X. You have to do that.
Does it mean at the current value, as is?
It says determined by comparables to be approximately.
Comparables, ones in similar conditions?
You could do that, yeah. For me personally, I always give them the contrast of what it could if all fixed up. Because at that point, they're like, I can't fix it up. I don't have that much money.
Okay.
That's how I.
It's kind of hard to be called to a state condition, especially if it's really.
If it's like, yeah, like so for me, it's always easier just to go, hey man, this is all fixed up, brand new kitchens, top of the line, 2018, bathrooms, kitchens, floors, paint, all that stuff. And I start like tacking on all of these things that have to get done, and all of a sudden you just see them like, oh gosh, I'll never get that for my house. No, you won't. So that's how I do it. Just make it easy. Consideration says, in consideration for said property, buyer agrees to pay seller as seller's equity in the portion of total sum of. So this is where you're saying, this is how much I am going to pay you. This is how much cash in hand you will walk away with.
Not including them paying off their loans and everything.
Nope, this is strictly for their equity. That's what it says. It says for their equity. So additional terms, if any. So then it says right here, in big, bold print, in no event shall any money or other consideration be transferred to seller by buyer at any time prior to the expiration of seller's rights to cancel this contract. So that's what you were talking about.
Yep.
Steve was saying he was right. You cannot give them any money. So then I have them put in their first mortgage. I do their first mortgage balance and payment, second mortgage balance and payment, and the third mortgage if balance and payment. Under third mortgage, if there's not a third mortgage, I put any arrears amount. How much that may be.
So under the third, right?
Under the third, that's mortgage, like that's arrears. So like, for example, that house over off of C Street, it would be what, like 175 plus 60 plus that $30,000 or $54,000. Yeah, I'd be putting that in there as well.
How many loans can be on that house?
I've seen houses with 6 liens on them. First, second, city lien, and then a bunch of small other like utility bills and stuff like that that are attached to the property. Taxes not being paid, all kinds of stuff. And some poor guy came and bought the 6th of all of them for like $2,000. He's like, yeah, I bought this house for $2,000, suckers.
Remember when that happened?
Yeah, that's right, dude. So you know what happens when you buy the junior lien, the junior to the junior? When you buy that $2,000 lien, you've automatically inherited all of the other liens on top of it. So he bought that property subject to all of its other liens. So now if he didn't pay those liens off, guess what happens? Foreclose, and he's now has a tax consequence or responsibility for not the mortgages, but the liens, because he now owns those liens. They're his liens now. He's the owner of the property.
Now, if you about first
If he
position,
forecloses.
If you bought first position, you wipe everything out behind you.
but when you're at the tail end,
Uh-huh.
you take on.
You take everything.
all.
Wait.
Very expensive lesson.
That's if you foreclose, right?
No.
What he's saying is, there's 6 positions. The guy took the 6th position, bought it for $2,000. So in the 6th position, everything from 1 through 5, that person absorbs. But if you take the $2,000 and it was the first position, the rest of that stuff.
Yeah, I understand that. But what if the utility company came in and was number 7? They're gonna absorb all the 6 before?
I would
That
assume that
just
7
doesn't
would
make
be
logical sense to
absorbed.
me why they would absorb.
It's called lien theory. You should definitely read up about it. Yeah. Lien theory is when you buy the lesser of the liens, you automatically are inheriting all the other ones. If you buy the first lien, you wipe everything else out because you're in first priority.
At auction.
Yep. At auction.
Yeah.
Let's say the guys behind you wanna protect their position, say you're first and the guy in 6 says, holy crud, the guy in first is doing a foreclosure, I better go pay him to protect my number 6 spot. So the guys that are behind, to protect their 2,000 that this fellow put up, he has to take care of all the guys ahead of him and all their payments, or he might lose his investment.
Okay, but his only risk is the 2,000 though.
Right.
And the tax
No.
lien forgiveness.
Oh no.
How do you own the IRS lien for, doing a loan? You don't, do you? 'Cause some of the things that would come before or any recording.
IRS is always first priority.
Right.
IRS supersedes everything.
And then, child support.
Child support next, and then you got
HOAs.
So he becomes liable for all those liens?
not the child support, but if there's a lien on the property for like unpaid tax or taxes, HOA, like a utility for not paying like a water bill or a sewer bill or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, Springville, yeah.
All right. In my neighborhood, the HOA has filed a foreclosure notice on a house.
Yep.
It's for $6,000, it's going up for auction.
Yep.
Say you purchase it.
Okay.
If I had the money to also pay off the first,
You're buying that house subject to the first mortgage.
so I could pay off the first.
No, you can continue making the payments on the first.
So you're saying is he pays the $6,000 and he now takes over that mortgage?
Those payments, yeah. You don't have to pay it off.
So,
It's now you own the house and any debt obligation with it.
what would
Excuse
I
me.
do with the people in it?
Kick them out. If they're not paying. If they're paying, keep them. There you go. We just bought an HOA foreclosure. Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
So you went, it went to auction, right?
We bought it from him before it went to auction.